So Sharon is a senior in high school from Texas, and she has a passion for service learning and community service, just like many of us here tonight. And 1 month before her 10th birthday, which was in 2008, Sharon was watching TV when she saw the aftermath of the horrible earthquake in Sichuan, China. 2 days later, Sharon and her siblings went door to door asking for donations, and 2 months later, they had raised $6,000. Her passion for helping others was ignited, and she co-founded We Care Act, a nonprofit organization that has raised over $170,000 in funds and in-kind donations for victims of natural disasters across the globe. Sharon also serves on YSA's Global Youth Council, so it's been really great getting to know Sharon. And Sharon, as long as you unmute yourself, you should be good to go.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. So like mentioned, I'm Sharon, and I'm the current president of We Care Act, which is a nonprofit that my siblings and I founded. Okay. So our mission is to give aid to victims of disaster and raise awareness for the power of youth in our world's problems. So like mentioned, it just started off as like this backyard fundraiser for victims of Sichuan, for the Sichuan earthquake. And since then, we've involved over 30,000 young people in 17 countries, and we've been able to help over 32,000 victims of 10 natural disasters. It's just been a phenomenal experience, and when people talk about how you gain just as much from community service as you give, it's really true. And even though we initially started to help natural disaster victims, we've expanded a lot, and we're currently doing a project that refurbishes and recycles used computers. Okay, so I'm just going to give you basically a step-by-step process for ways to manage your Global Youth Service Day project, or really any project. And this is typically the process that I use as well. So step one would definitely be brainstorming. It's really important to understand that this process is a collaborative effort. Typically, a lot of people feel like it's one person alone is dictating everything, but really you need to find a trustworthy team that you know you can count on. And I think that's really important. And it's on top of that, it's really important to be flexible and open-minded to other ideas. Because even though you may think that you have the best idea, it's very possible that someone else has an idea that's also really great. And it's a good idea to try to incorporate this into your own ideas. In brainstorming, you should always encourage people to speak up. You never want to intimidate them or make them afraid to speak. So whenever they give ideas, just say thank you, like thank them for being there, saying things, just contributing at all. And very important to write everything down. Even if it seems insignificant, it's really important that you have a record of some sort. So if later you're thinking, wow, now that I think of it, that woman really mentioned something that's really interesting, that you can pull it up and be like, oh, this is what she said. And lastly, in brainstorming, you should definitely be realistic and look for long-term impact. Because short-term impact projects are also really great. They're very beneficial, but in the long run, you want to make a big effort. So the next step would be getting the word out. What I normally do, and what I did since I started, is I created flyers, and that's basically, it includes information about whatever you're doing, why you're doing it, and what you hope to get done. And also it's good to include a little bit about you so that they know that you're trustworthy, that you actually want to do good, and you're not just like quote unquote some kid, which is sometimes what older people can think. And another way is to create newsletters. This is basically a flyer, but in more detail. And other ways are posting on social media, emailing past volunteers, even new volunteers, people just in your neighborhood as well. It's really important, like I said, keep record of everything. You should always know who you've contacted, because you never want to contact someone too many times about the same thing, because it can kind of dissuade them from actually doing something. And also keep a copy of everything you create, flyers, newsletters, posts, emails, etc., and mark the date of when you did it. Next, talking to potential volunteers. You should always talk to people who contact you with their interests, and it's really, really important to get back to them. So if someone emails you or someone even mentions it to you, and when you're passing by them, you definitely want to do a follow-up so they can get more information. It's also, I'm very, very big on making sure that they know they can make a difference, because for a lot of young people, they don't really know that they have this capability, that they have a lot of power. And it's really important just to get that message across that they have the capability to do that. Then you definitely want to explain what their role would be, so they're not caught off guard, or they don't think they're going to do any less or any more than what they plan on doing. And also, you want to send out reminders as the day of the project approaches. So once you determine that, you want to keep people updated, make sure that they know when it's coming up so they don't forget, and you have basically just everything on track. And also, all the while, you definitely want to be inviting additional people to attend, even as the day of the project is getting closer. You still want to invite more people, because in the long run, more people usually means a greater impact. The big day, definitely you want to take pictures for the record. And this is just so that you can not only post it on other places, you can also show people what you've done, and then show those people who are there or their parents that you guys were getting something done, that there was a positive impact. You also want some sort of schedule, whether it be rough or very specific. You want to know where people are going to be and at what time, because you don't want there to be just mass chaos. Also, especially for younger people, snacks and games are pretty important, especially during break times. If they're getting a little tired, you want to excite them again, get them excited, and snacks and games, pretty good thing to have. Also, again, you want to take record of everything everything you did, everything you're doing, and then when the project's over, you want to be able to say what you got done so that you can later tell people about it. And do not be stressed out. This is probably one of the biggest things. You really want to be able to just enjoy yourself and not get really too bogged down about the details, because before, when you're planning it, you want to know what you're doing, but when you're there, you should enjoy yourself, and you should hopefully get other people to enjoy it too. And also, you should definitely keep everyone updated afterwards. You should mention all the positives, what people got done. You should make sure everyone, all the volunteers, know they're appreciated, and you should share the stats of what you got done. Rewarding volunteers. You definitely want to email each person individually and thank them for their time. Even if it's a big scale project, you want to make sure every single person knows that they contributed something valuable. You also want to give them their earned volunteer hours, because that's really important for some people. And also giving even shout-outs on social media, writing handwritten cards, delivering it to them. And then there are more long-term things, like providing information on future volunteer opportunities or grants or awards, because a lot of people who do a lot of service, they should definitely be awarded with these things, or grants where they can take out on their own projects. Also, writing letters of recommendation, giving those offers is something that some wouldn't really do, but I think this is a good way for people to know that you really, really appreciate their help. And also, on a side note, I just wanted to mention that working with young people in middle schools, junior highs, after-school centers, those are really, really good ways to get young people involved in service and kind of foster a love for service at a young age. Because those people, they don't really know what they can do sometimes, and letting them know that they have this ability is very, very important. And my contact information is Sharon Li at WeCareAct.org, and my WeCareAct's website is www.wecareact.com. And if you have any questions, please email me, and thank you so much for letting me speak with you today.